Ah, California, the land of the future. A beautiful income disparity where if you happen to be rich, you feel like a king, looking down upon the poor people while you keep voting for the same policies. And you know what? If bad things happens, you can always run to Texas. But unfortunately, the income disparity in Texas isn't that great. You don't get to feel rich anymore. So you get to vote for the same policies from California to impoverish your fellow man so you get to feel like a modern aristocrat again. Isn't that the American way? I love those people. Californians. Now, apparently, they banned the sales of new gas cars, and the journalists from Los Angeles Times, they're journalizing so hard that they're like, yes, this is so good. This is so good. It's amazing. Apparently, the deadline is going to be 2035. I don't know why they didn't go with 2030, though. Like, the United Nations demanded 230. Why are you going with 235? You naughty Gavin Newsom. You naughty. Why do you not do what the United Nations demand, huh? Beautiful. So, apparently, only rich people are going to be able to afford electric cars. I mean, I love this. Like, just buy an electric car. How much is one? Like $50,000? Peanuts. I mean, look, if AOC pulled herself by her bootstraps, if a waitress managed to buy an electric car, so can you. All you have to do is to start a Twitter account, start twatting, get elected, and with the taxpayer money, you buy an electric car. That is the American way. Making money by yourself, the entrepreneur way, capitalism, horrible. No, you need taxpayer money. Like that is the way to gain prestige in America right now. Like, make sure you're in a position where you suck the taxpayer money and use it to buy an electric car. Unfortunately, also today, I believe, California Power Grid warns of blackouts, urge residents to conserve energy. Oh no. Apparently, the peak load for electricity is currently projected to exceed 48,000 megawatts on Monday, the highest of the year. So basically, people need to set the thermostat to 78 degrees or higher, avoid using large appliances, and charging electric vehicles, and turn off unnecessary lights. So everyone listen to Gavin Newsom. Everyone is like, we need to protect Mother Gaia. Captain Planet is not here to save us, but we are going to buy that fucking electric car. And so many people bought it that now it's like, no, we need to power down. Why didn't they build the grid first? Like first build the infrastructure, then show the car. And you know what? Who cares? Like, this is a progressive mindset. I mean, they have the science behind them. They know what they are doing. Who am I to question? Now, all jokes aside, it is a little bit interesting, right? Like, they're telling you to buy an electric car, and at the same time, they're telling you to not power up the electric car you bought. So there are possibilities for this. Number one, complete incompetence. But I cannot think something like this. Again, like, they have the science behind them. They have the academia. Some of the smartest people in the world are leftists. Like, surely they cannot be incompetent. Which leads to the second possibility. Maybe it's malice. Maybe it's bad. Maybe they just don't give a fuck. Right? Maybe they just don't care. You know, as long as they're in office, as long as they suck that taxpayer money, they gain prestige. And if they gain prestige, they're happy. So that's another possibility. The third possibility is that they don't care about the environment. They want something else. For example, control. Smart cities, they call it, right? Like, cities that are smart. So in smart cities, everyone travels with public transport. Right? So controlling the freedom of travel. Like, you will notice a trend with a lot of progressive people nowadays. It's like they look at the human rights and like, right of free speech. How can we fuck with it? Well, we can't fuck ourselves, but we can get the private sector to fuck with it. You know, maybe get the FBI to tell Facebook what to censor. Right? Okay. Let's look at another human right. What other human rights we have? Oh, the right to travel. Let's take away the cars. They go down the line. It's like, what other human rights we have? The right to do business. We need to keep people safe. Social distance. Shut down the businesses. Tax them more. Let's cause a little bit of inflation. So, regarding the right to travel, this is something that the aristocracy did to the peasantry in medieval time. Like, they don't like it when peasants move a lot around too much. So, instead, they want the peasants to stay still. In other words, you get public transport, like in China. So now you have a QR code or a credit card or something in order to go take the public transport. Now, if you're a naughty person and your social credit score goes down, you can't travel publicly and you don't have a car either. What do you do? You can't attend that protest. And this happened in China recently. People were protesting against the banks. And in China, they still have the pandemic. And all of a sudden, the people who said on social media they were going to attend the protest against the banks, magically, their health pass turned from green to red. Isn't that interesting? But it will never happen in the West, right? Because in the West, it's like the magic of the soil causes authoritarianism to not take root. That's how I explain it, right? Take into account that every single nation that's a dictatorship and lacks human rights, at one point it didn't. Like, at one point it wasn't a dictatorship. Especially with China, like, at one point, it wasn't a communist nation. Interesting, right? Apparently this is not enough, by the way. Like, they're saying, still not enough. Still not enough. Like, even banning cars that are running on gas, not enough. Interesting how they're not banning private jets. Did you notice that? Private jets still get to operate. They're not banning private yachts. In fact, at least in Europe. I don't know in America, but in Europe, private yachts get exemptions from a lot of these laws and regulations. Isn't that interesting? Why do they need private jets in the era where you have the Zoom call? Like, if you can get your kids to study for high school or for school using Zoom, why can't you get Gavin Newsom to talk with other politicians using Zoom as well? Why does he need a private jet? Can anyone answer me? Isn't it hurting Mother Gaia? Because again, like the rich people, like take any rich person, like Jeff Bezos. Even if I wanted to pollute as much as he does, I will never be able to. Like, my entire family, probably my entire neighborhood will never manage to pollute as much as Jeff Bezos does. But for some reason, they're not taking away his private jet. They're not taking away his air conditioning. It's me who has to make the sacrifices. Okay, I will do it. To keep Jeff Bezos safe, of course. I have to. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.